Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and I've been kind of delicately dancing about this topic for about a year now, giving you guys some hints and tricks and tips about how to use other scanners with Invisalign. And this is a bit of a hot button topic because whenever I post something about this or share something about this, Invisalign comes down on me from the powers that be and can be very unpleasant. And they always ask me to take it down. They tell me it's not true. But here's the thing, it is true because I keep verifying it with doctors who are regularly using it. And until today, I have so many doctors asking me for how to do this. And I'm just always hesitant that if I give away my secrets that they're gonna find that loophole and they're gonna close it down. So please don't get mad at me if it gets closed down because they are telling you through their TMs that they're very likely gonna close it down. They're saying this is a temporary loophole workaround to help doctors get back into the group because of COVID. That is what they're saying. And they're not publishing anything. There's nothing out there, but yet all y'all are asking. So let's take you back on a little history lesson. Invisalign started in 1997. In 2001, they started letting general dentists use it. Intraoral scanners became a lot more prevalent. There's lots of different intraoral scanners. Yes, the iTero is a great scanner. It's a nice scanner. It's a bulky scanner. It's an expensive scanner and it has monthly fees. And it's not always the best thing if you're doing a lot of crown bridge restorative implants. It's not always the first scanner that a lot of general dentists would want to have. So general dentists are often, or even pediatric dentists, caught in the middle because they're like, well, it's not really my first choice in in scanners, it's more expensive. And by the way, if you want to learn more about this in my book, which you can find at Amazon, if you want to know how to get my book, you can go to my website, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and there's a tab for that. And it's a great book, and it has a whole section on picking a scanner. But anyways, and we go over a lot of this. But the main thing is that you got to find the right scanner for you, right? And sometimes the right scanner isn't the iTero. I mean, it's not the perfect scanner, right? Not for everybody. It's not that portable, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, at the moment, Q1 2021, you are able to use other scanners. They say you can't. When you go to their website, they say you can't, but you can. There's some workarounds. So there's 3 different ways that I've heard doctors are doing this. And I'm going to go over what I think is the best way and then the other ways. So again, don't get mad at me, Invisalign. Don't come down on me because I'm just telling you the truth of what many doctors are telling me. So if you don't know about this loophole, which I know you do, personally, I think you should just let it go. Let the doctors use what they're going to use. You know, maybe you charge an additional fee for the right. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, for example, I'm going to give you an analogy. If I go to a fancy restaurant, right, they want me to buy their expensive wine, but some restaurants will let me bring in a bottle and they'll charge me a corkage fee. Why not? So I call BS because when I initially met with the exec team at Invisalign 2 years ago, I brought this up, and that time they blocked it. You couldn't use any other scanner. And I said, I call BS on this. I know people who've tried some and it works out so don't tell me that only the iTero can scan for Invisalign because it's a different workflow and I realize it's not as seamless, but some doctors aren't in a position to buy another scanner and you are prohibiting them from doing Invisalign. They're going and they're using other aligner companies because you're not letting them to do it. But if they had a choice, they'd use Invisalign, right? So it's kind of dumb. I realize they make more profit off selling an iTero than they do doing a few cases, but why would doctors want to invest in your iTero if they haven't tried a few cases to see if they like it? You know what I mean? So let the doctors have this workaround. Let the doctors maybe try out a few with their initial scanner, or, you know, maybe it's not as seamless, you know? So eventually, if they're doing a lot of volume, they're going to want to buy your iTero anyways because it's way easier to use. And there's a lot of other benefits. And if you don't know about those benefits, you should read in my book about it. And you guys, I try to be Switzerland with this. I like Invisalign. I like iTero. I also like other aligner companies. I also like other scanners. So they all work. Let's just all get along. Anyways, okay, now I'm gonna go over the 3 workflows. And please, Invisalign, do not come down on me with this because I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you what TMs are telling doctors, what doctors are telling me. And it's not just one doctor, it's many doctors. And the workflow might be slightly different in your country. This is the workflow in the US. So if you are in Canada or many other countries, actually they're totally fine with using other scanners. Only in the US and a few other countries, there were 3 countries. It was like the US, China, and something else, where they blocked the direct use of other scanners because of a lawsuit. Okay, so let's talk about the workflows. The one I recommend is the STL Digital Workflow. So you're gonna go ahead and scan your patient on whatever you have, your 3Shape or whatever. You're gonna export the STL, you know, just like you would, it's really easy with ClearCorrect, you just upload the STL, right? Or if you're using Global, you just upload the STL. There's no place to upload the STL. That's not part of their, I mean, I don't know why it isn't, but they could easily add that to their ClinCheck. But so basically your two options with the ClinCheck, at least in the US, are either they're gonna pair it automatically with your iTero and you're gonna select the name, or you're gonna say I'm doing PVS impressions. So go ahead and select PVS impressions, okay? Go ahead and submit it. It's gonna say status waiting for records. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna email their records department, which I may not get this right. It's either records@aligntech.com or records@aligntechnology.com or records@invisalign.com. You might have to ask your TM or give them a call. But there is a records email that they do give out, and you're gonna attach the STLs in that email. Okay, they're pretty big files, so you might have to zip them or whatever you need to do. And then of course you're gonna put the patient's name and number. To me, it doesn't seem HIPAA compliant. It seems like you should really be doing it through the portal, but whatever. And that's that. They'll once they elected the records department gets that, they'll pair it and they'll go ahead and do the setup. Plenty of doctors tell me this works just fine. They do it all the time. Can't promise it's gonna last forever though. So enjoy it while you can. Do as many cases as you can right now. Okay, there were two other workflows that people were doing before this workflow that some people are still doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you those workflows. Those involve if you have a 3D printer, or you can export your STL to any local lab that has a 3D printer. They pretty much all do. They print out the little horseshoes for you and you throw the horseshoes in the box. That works too. Some people, you know, tell me that they take impressions of the horseshoes. That's the third workflow. You have to use some type of separating medium because otherwise, depending on what type of resin you use, sometimes the PVS in the Invisalign trays will stick to the resin. So that doesn't work super well, but that would be the third workflow. There's no way Invisalign knows at all if you're taking an impression of a horseshoe or if you're taking that you already printed out that you know, that way the patient thinks that you're doing intraoral scanning, right? They don't know because you are doing intraoral scanning. You're getting all the detail, but then you're taking an impression of that printed model. Bingo, that's the third way. That will always work. It always has worked. It depends on, you're gonna have to try some A/B testing to see what works. So that one's a little bit goopy. You're still, it decreases the whole point of the whole thing because you're gonna lose some accuracy. The patient's not gonna know, but you know you're gonna lose accuracy. It's extra work for you. You're gonna have to print out the models. Then you're gonna have to waste trays and impression material to do that. So it wouldn't be my preference. Plus the whole point of the reason why I like, besides all the accuracy and the workflow and everything, but it's sustainable. Using an intraoral scanner decreases tons of plastic waste into the environment, you know, carbon footprint, all that. So I really hope that Invisalign becomes more sustainable. I realize that they do have like they're beta testing an Invisalign aligner recycling program. They haven't really rolled it out, but I've heard about it. But it would be really great if they got more flexible. And personally, I think they should actually stop taking impressions. I think that would be a huge deal. As of December, 2021, we no longer accept impressions. We're only pure digital. We're gonna charge an additional fee if you're not using iTero, blah, blah, blah. That's what I would do if I were Joe Hogan, because it's the right thing to do. You can get a very affordable scanner at the moment, and it's, unless they take that step or unless they charge extra, for impressions, nobody's gonna, a lot of people don't take that move, to get that scanner. So I hope that they do that because it's the right thing to do. And I think we'd all have a lot more respect for Invisalign if they did that. But then they gotta give you an opportunity to use different scanners, right? So they gotta give doctors, 6 months, 12 months notice. But anyways, that's my workarounds. Hopefully that was helpful. Please don't get mad at me, Invisalign, because ultimately, like I said, I do like your product. My ultimate goal is actually to have doctors have better outcomes and to make things easier and to be better for the environment. So that's why I'm posting this video. It does work. All right, thanks.